Hi everyone, it's Kelly here from Kelly Chasse Fine Art. In today's video we're going to cover glow-in-the-dark paint and we're going to be making some coasters with them. So stick around and I'll show you how to do it. I'm totally looking in the wrong spot. Over there. So if you're new here to my YouTube channel, thank you for stopping by and welcome. I am a full-time artist and online instructor, and I teach classes to over 2,500 different students in 85 different countries, and I am so blessed to be able to do that. So in today's video, we're going to cover these cool pigments that I have purchased. They're glow-in-the-dark, and they are really bright. I put them under the light here so you can see what they look like when they're glowing. So we're going to see what this is going to be like once we put this in a coaster. So I've been making lots of coasters lately. You may have seen my full online class that I have. I'll put the link down below for a special preview. If you haven't yet signed up for the pre-launch, you can do so. But these are done with alcohol inks, and we're going to be using some alcohol inks with this today just because I wanted to see how it would work, and because I figured if it was just solid it wouldn't be all that fun. So there are lots of different colors in here that you can use, and I will put a link to this for you down below in case you want to try this yourself. Look at all those yummy little colors. There's lots. They don't come in a very big package. They're very small, so I used for each coaster one full packet for the color, and it seemed to do okay. I'm not sure if I used less, if it still would have had the glow that we got from this. You know, if you get these, you may want to test it out and see if you need more or less. So I have my coaster mold here. I am going to put a release spray in there. The coasters came out really good a number of times initially, but I noticed that some folks have had problems with them sticking, or they're tearing their plastic. And obviously the more that you use that, the more potential it is for that to happen. So I'm using the release spray, and I'll put a link down below for you on that as well. So I've already mixed up my resin. If you are new to resin, you may want to check out my other online course that I did for coasters, where I cover how I mixed it and so on and so forth in that. So I've got it already mixed up now, and I'm just pouring them into separate cups here. These will take about roughly about 2 ounces per coaster, is what I figured out. So I am going to start with the green, and it is quite vibrant. I think I'm going to even save those little containers that they come in and wash that out. I think I'm going to use that for my alcohol inks. They have a little screw on top. They're perfect for that. You can put just a little bit in there. So I'm just going to stir these in and mix them. I'm going to do a blue here. And I also chose to do aqua. Put that whole one in there as well. Now I mixed up a little bit extra resin here. Just so I had some leftovers. I tried a couple of knobs and some little jewelry pieces with it because I just wanted to see what it would look like. So I mixed up a little extra than what you would need for the full 3 coasters. I also have some that's clear. You can see it sitting in the container over here. So I had plenty for these 3 coasters with this amount. So you're just going to want to stir that in there real well. I have lots of air bubbles. You can let that sit and release for a little bit, but I'm going to add some alcohol inks to this just because I wanted to see what it's going to do. So I've mixed up really well. The aqua looks white still, which I thought was kind of neat. We'll see how it turns out at the end here when it's glowing in the dark. So I've let that mold release spray dry for about 15 to 30 minutes, so it's all dry. And I'm just going to pour in my 2 ounces of resin per coaster here. And you can see, like I said, lots of air bubbles. We'll torch this a little bit. I could have done a better job. I torched it a few times, but if you do this in smaller layers and torch it in between, that helps release more of your air bubbles. Just a little tip for you. And it also, if you mix it very slowly, that will help as well. I tend to stir quite vigorously. Just want to get it done and make sure that I've got it mixed really well. So I tend to have a lot of air bubbles in mine. So I have them all poured in there, and I could have stopped at this point, just torched it, but I wanted to see, like I said before, what the alcohol inks would look like in there, because I felt, you know, these are just kind of boring, just having some plain solid color glow in the dark. I thought about it afterward. Another cool thing might be to do the layers of the resin, and, you know, so have all three colors and do like a little rainbow effect. So I thought that would be kind of neat to try. So if you guys want to give that a shot, I'd love to see it. So you can make sure that you tag me on Instagram or Facebook at Kelly Lynn Art, and I'll make sure that I see that. I plan to feature some of you artists and students on my social media platforms, so make sure you tag me and you might be featured. So I'm going to use some of the alcohol inks here. I'm using Panada inks. I'll put a link down below for you on that. You probably have seen me do this before with the other coasters that I've done in the past, and I ran out. I still don't have it yet. I can't believe it. My my Blanco or my snow cap. I don't have either one of those, so I ended up using Ranger's Pearl Mixative. So I've let that cover and dry overnight for 24 hours, and here are the finished results. Here, we'll pop them out. This was the aqua, and you can see that they're pretty opaque. I was hoping that I would see more of that on the other side with the alcohol inks, but I didn't get that. So that I was a little disappointed with, but they really are pretty from the front. And you can clean these up as well with just using an X-Acto knife if you have a lot of lip on yours. No pun intended. So let's see what this one looks like. This was the blue. And again, you can see where some of that mixative kind of went through to the bottom and landed a little bit. You could see it, but they're really pretty from the front. Usually I like my coasters flipped and I like to see the other side, but in this case, they'll glow quite well, I think, from this side, but they're very muted, very opaque. Here's a picture of the front of it. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have it in front of a window here, and you can see all those really pretty colors. So there we have it. I'm going to turn off the lights and we're going to check this out, see what they look like. But before we do that, make sure you stay tuned to the end to see what next week's video is going to be. So here are the final results. These have been put in under the light first, and they glow quite well. Check it out. So if you like this video, please make sure to click that subscribe and like button. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I do have my online classes so I can continue to give away free content here. If you think that you might be interested in a class, you can sign up at www.kellychassefineart.com. I'll be putting up new videos every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so for next week, we're going to be doing some water brushes. So we'll see you guys next week. Take care.